All right, so marketing with real estate. How is that going to help you grow your business? How is that going to help you find properties? What can it do for you? So I'm Aaron Impens, and today we're going to talk a little bit about that. Today I got a special guest. I'll let him introduce himself.
Steve Maly with Maly Marketing.
Yeah, hey, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, you bet.
Appreciate it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about marketing. I talk about it a lot. You know, it's a big part of my business, obviously. Many different types of it. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do at Maly Marketing.
Yeah, so we really have three different segments of business. One of the segments, we do a lot of tourism and economic development. So getting people to either come to a community and spend the night or set up shop, move there permanently. We do a ton of just small business. With those people, generally the majority of their business takes place within about a 10, 15 mile radius of where they're located at. On the other side of the business, we work a lot of time with like higher end online ad spenders. So we work with people that have been on Shark Tank in the past, people that have been on the New York Times bestsellers list or trying to help them hit the list. As well as like kind of quasi-celebrities in their own space.
Okay.
The cool thing about that is that some of them will spend online, Facebook, Instagram, Google, $150,000, $200,000 a month. We
Wow.
have other clients, small business-wise, will spend like $200 a month.
Sure.
So we take that knowledge we can get from spending all that cash and apply those same strategies all the way down to people that spend a couple $100 and gets to work out really, really well.
Yeah. You said you worked with someone on Shark Tank. That was probably kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, super interesting. So we've had a couple of them, about four of them at this point in time. One of our longest clients, we started working with him about 4 years ago when he was on Shark Tank the year prior. We had another one that interviewed in front of the sharks, so we had to give them all that data to come to the table.
Yeah.
They ended up being on the season finale of that season for Shark Tank. And I can tell you exactly how it ended, but it wasn't like all rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah, no, I happen to know the end of that story, and it is an interesting ending. Yeah, interesting ending. Okay, so you mentioned you've got data from people that are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and you bring that down and break it down for the person that, you know, like myself, I don't have that kind of ad spend. So what for someone that might be a little bit smaller, or maybe even smaller than myself, what would a good ad spend be on a marketing campaign?
See, a lot of times, especially if you want to take a look at just online for the foundation piece.
Yeah, okay.
Because regardless how they find out about you, if it's going to be one of your bandit signs, if it's a direct mail piece, if it's a billboard, if it's whatever,
Yeah.
they're probably going online to find out that much more info.
For sure.
So we always talk about is setting up a foundation on just Google AdWords and protecting any time that somebody types in your brand, your name, potentially competitors' names,
Yeah.
and people just type in those general terms of either homes for sale or rehab opportunities or whatever.
We buy houses, yeah, all that stuff.
And so we use that as just a foundation. A lot of times, especially in a market like Lincoln, Omaha can fit into this as well. Even if you spend a couple $100 a month, that at least takes care of that foundation.
Yeah.
So when people are going to Google with a high level of intent, is that you have a decent chance of showing up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that you kind of mentioned here, and what I tie in as well, you know, I've talked many a times about how I send a lot of direct mail or put out signs, things like that. A lot of times those things can tie you back to a core website to then help that customer gain some trust and some knowledge of your company, right?
Yep. So a lot of times for direct mail, instead of sending them directly to your ATIproperties.com, for example, is we'll just go and buy a domain. Like, we buy ugly houses, Lincoln.
Yeah.
We buy ugly houses, Nebraska. We buy whatever. So that domain's going to cost $10.
Yeah.
So every time you do a direct mail piece, that one domain is going to be on every direct mail piece. You do a bandit sign. That bandit sign has a different domain.
Yeah.
You do, let's say, a print ad or whatever else. That print ad has its own domain.
Yeah.
So now we can track where that stuff is coming from. Gets you a little bit of a better idea. Hey, I spent X amount of dollars on a billboard. Is anybody actually coming back to the site using that domain? And it gets us a pretty good idea of what media is working and which is not.
One other thing that I've seen a lot of people wrestle with is, you know, they get so concerned about building their brand. You know, they want to be the next Nike of the real estate world versus, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm in front of the person that wants to sell their house when they want to sell their house. Do you think one is more important over the other, or what would you recommend there?
See, it's a good question. It all depends on what your goals are, short term and long term. Short term, I'm talking about 10 months or less.
Okay.
It's good to be able to get in front of the right audience as consistently as possible. However, most of us are in business not just for the next 10 months, but the next ideally 10 years.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you really have to have a balance between the brand itself and being in front of the right people.
Yeah.
The perfect balance, when I say the perfect balance, my creative director and I will go through a lot of academic research studies, because academic studies generally don't have that tilted view. And what I mean by that, there's famous studies that have come out saying how good smoking actually is for you. Well, the sponsor of that smoking study is Philip Morris.
Yeah,
So
okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
And so we'll go through these studies, and they said that perfect balance is 60-40. 60% on the branding side of it, 40% more on that instant, look at me, here's how I can help you, like let's work together
Yeah.
short-term-wise.
If someone was wanting to get started with doing some marketing, what would you say is something that maybe they could just get started with? You know, you talked about building that foundation, which is probably important, but maybe a little bit past that, what would be something they could look to do?
Oh, you know, it's one of the things that you're literally doing right now. It's shooting some good educational content, some really good videos.
Okay.
You know, if you have more of a face for radio, then do like an audio cast or just do a blog, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But good long form content. So the nice thing I like about this, let's say this video ends up being 5 minutes.
Yep.
Is we know if somebody is watching half that video for 2.5 minutes, they're probably interested in real estate and flipping and deals and
Marketing.
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where if they're watching, let's say this video is 30 seconds. Good analogies. I hate cats. I'll never buy a cat, not a cat fan whatsoever. But I've wasted a lot of time watching 30-second cat videos.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things is that you want to have long form video like this, because then the longer people are watching, the more interested they really are in what you have to say. And then you can just retarget individuals that have watched at least 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes type of thing.
Yeah.
Versus trying to capture a bunch of people that maybe watch you for 15 or 20 seconds that really has no interest in what you have to say.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good foundational piece.
Just for your own sake, if people are like, okay, yeah, this guy actually knows what he's talking about, you know, I know it's unbelievable, but where can they find you if they want to find you?
The easiest thing is just go to malymarketing.com.
How do you spell that as well?
Good point, good point.
Yeah.
Maly.
Maly Marketing, Maly marketing.com. And they find you on Facebook too, probably, I'm sure.
Facebook, Instagram, we'll make 3 or 4 posts a week. We generally have some pretty good engagement on that. I'm more than happy to sit down and audit some material that they might have.
Yeah, perfect.
Or just kind of BS like this as well.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope that that helps a little bit. This is Steve Maly with Maly Marketing. We got a little bit of tips for you, maybe some things that you can take away. Steve, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Yep,
Appreciate
good to see you. And you guys, hit that subscribe button, leave me some likes and some comments below, and we'll go from there. See you next time.